so ambitious that it spans thousands of years, shaping the rise and fall of entire civilizations. A story about the future of humanity, the power of knowledge, and the battle against fate itself. This is the Foundation trilogy, written by the legendary Isaac Asimov, a man whose mind shaped modern science fiction as we know it. Born in 1920, Asimov was a biochemist by training, but it was his writing that changed the world. He wasn't just a sci-fi writer, he was a visionary. He gave us the 3 laws of robotics, he expanded on the mystery genre in sci-fi, and most importantly, he created the Foundation series, one of the most influential works in the history of science fiction. Now, let's dive into the story. What is Foundation all about? Well, it begins not with heroes or wars, but with a mathematician and a bold plan to save the future. The story is set far in the future, in a galaxy ruled by the mighty Galactic Empire. For 12,000 years it has been the center of civilization, governing millions of worlds. But beneath its surface, the Empire is rotting, corrupt, bloated, and on the verge of collapse. Enter Hari Seldon, a genius mathematician who has developed psychohistory, a revolutionary science that can predict the future of large populations. And the future? It's grim. Seldon's calculations show that within 300 years the Empire will fall, leading to 30,000 years of darkness, war, and suffering. But Seldon has a plan. He can't stop the fall of the Empire, but he can shorten the Dark Age, from 30,000 years down to just 1,000. His idea? The Foundation. Seldon convinces the Imperial government to let him create a colony on a remote planet called Terminus at the edge of the galaxy. The official reason? To compile all human knowledge into the Encyclopedia Galactica, a grand project to preserve civilization's achievements. But in reality, the Encyclopedia Galactica is just a cover. Seldon's real plan is much deeper. He knows that a small, strategically guided civilization can eventually become the foundation for a new galactic empire. As the empire weakens, neighboring warlords, former imperial governors, start eyeing Terminus. The Foundation is weak with no military power. But then, something incredible happens. The Seldon Vault, a chamber left behind by Hari Seldon, opens. His pre-recorded hologram appears and delivers a message. By now, you've realized that the encyclopedia was never the true purpose of the Foundation. Your survival depends not on military strength, but on superior knowledge. Use it, and that's exactly what they do. The Foundation uses its scientific advancements to become indispensable to its neighbors. They provide nuclear power, medicine, and technology, but with a catch. They create a scientific religion where only Foundation priests can operate this technology. The warlords, believing it to be divine, submit to the Foundation's influence. Through brains instead of brute force, the Foundation conquers without fighting. Seldon's plan is working. Now, let's fast forward a few decades. The Foundation isn't just surviving, it's thriving. It has expanded across multiple star systems, controlling vast regions of space through its economic and technological dominance. But there's a problem. The Galactic Empire still exists, and even though it's crumbling, it's not gone yet. A powerful Imperial general, Bel Rios, decides that the Foundation has become too powerful. He launches a full-scale invasion. This should be the end of the Foundation. After all, how can a tiny colony fight an empire? But there's one thing Bel Rios doesn't know. He's fighting history itself. Psychohistory predicted that the Empire, in its dying years, would be too corrupt to sustain a war effort. And just like that, Rios's war ends not in battle, but in betrayal. Imperial politics intervene and Rios is recalled to the capital and executed. The Empire collapses a little more, and the Foundation gains even more power. But then, something unexpected happens. Psychohistory is designed to predict large-scale social movements. But what about individuals? What if just one person was powerful enough to disrupt history? Meet the Mule. The Mule is a mutant with an ability no one saw coming. He can control emotions. With just his mind, he can turn enemies into allies, and his charisma is unstoppable. He builds a vast army and in record time conquers the Foundation. This wasn't supposed to happen. Seldon's plan never accounted for a single, unpredictable variable. The Foundation is doomed. But Seldon had a backup plan. Before his death, he created a second foundation, a hidden organization made up of the galaxy's best minds, trained in mental sciences. Their mission? To secretly guide the course of history. The mule, knowing they exist, starts hunting for them. He fears them, because while he can control emotions, the second foundation can control thoughts. The mule's search is relentless, but he never finds them. Instead, they find him. Using their advanced mental abilities, they reverse his influence, weakening him and restoring balance to Seldon's plan. The mule, once the most powerful being in the galaxy, dies in obscurity. With the threat neutralized, the second foundation erases all knowledge of its existence and goes back into hiding, waiting for the next moment when history needs a push. The Foundation trilogy is more than just a sci-fi series. It's a blueprint for thinking about the future. It asks, can history be predicted? Is knowledge more powerful than war? Can individuals change the course of destiny? This series influenced countless sci-fi stories, from Star Wars to Dune to The Expanse. It's often called the greatest science fiction series of all time. And today, it's still alive. Apple TV Plus released a Foundation TV series in 2021, reimagining Asimov's vision for a new generation. So, if you haven't read Foundation yet, what are you waiting for? The future is waiting.
Imagine a story so ambitious that it spans thousands of years, where the fate of an entire galaxy rests on a secret plan crafted by a genius long dead. A story about civilization, knowledge, and the battle for the future. This is Foundation's Edge, Isaac Asimov's long-awaited sequel to the original Foundation trilogy, published in 1982, nearly 30 years after the original books. But this time, Asimov does something different. He expands the story beyond just the Foundation and the Second Foundation, introducing new mysteries, a hidden world, and the search for Earth itself. So, let's dive in and uncover the story of Foundation's Edge, a book that reshaped the Foundation saga forever. Before we jump into Foundation's Edge, let's take a quick look at where things stand in the Foundation universe. The once mighty galactic empire is gone, its rule shattered. The first Foundation, created by Hari Seldon, now controls much of the galaxy, using technology and economic power to dominate. The Second Foundation, a secretive organization of powerful mentalists, those who can influence thoughts, has been working in the shadows to ensure that Seldon's plan stays on track. But here's the catch. The First Foundation thinks it has destroyed the Second Foundation. And the Second Foundation? They're perfectly fine with letting everyone believe that. Both factions believe they are guiding the future, but what if there's a third force in play? Our protagonist is Golan Trevise, a young, outspoken member of the First Foundation's government on Terminus. He's sharp, confident, and deeply skeptical. One day, Trevise makes a dangerous accusation. He suspects that the Second Foundation is still out there, secretly manipulating the galaxy. The government of the First Foundation doesn't like this kind of talk, so what do? They arrest him, but instead of executing or imprisoning him, they send him on a mission. Trevise is given a spaceship, along with Janov Pellerat, a historian obsessed with one of the greatest mysteries in the galaxy, the lost planet of Earth. The government's real hope? That Trevise will uncover the truth and expose the Second Foundation, if they even exist. Trevise exists in a monastery. Earth actually exists. So, Apson expats. Meanwhile, over on Trantor, the home of the hidden Second Foundation, another crisis is unfolding. Stor Gendable, a rising star among the Second Foundation's mentalics, begins to suspect that something is wrong. The Second Foundation has always thought they were the secret rulers of destiny, but Gendable notices that events in the galaxy are moving too smoothly, almost too perfectly. He begins to suspect that someone else, some unknown force, is shaping history. To investigate, Gendable sets off on his own mission, tracking Trevise and his journey. But what neither Trevise nor Gendable knows is that they're about to stumble upon something far bigger than the Foundation, or even Hari Seldon's plan. Trevise and Pellerat's journey takes them to a hidden planet called Gaia, a world unlike any other. Gaia isn't just inhabited, It's alive. Everything on Gaia, humans, animals, even the environment itself, is part of a collective superconsciousness. Every living thing on the planet is mentally linked, functioning as a single, harmonious entity. And Gaia has a secret. They have been guiding history, subtly shaping the events of the galaxy in ways that neither the first foundation nor the second foundation ever realized. They are neither rulers nor conquerors. They are caretakers, waiting for the right moment to reveal themselves. And now, with Treves standing before them, that moment has arrived. Gaia presents Treves with a monumental decision. 3 possible futures lie ahead. 1. First Foundation rule, a galaxy ruled by logic, technology, and human ambition. 2. Second Foundation rule, a galaxy secretly controlled by mentalics, ensuring stability but at the cost of true freedom. 3. Galaxia, a bold new idea proposed by Gaia, a future where the entire galaxy becomes one vast collective consciousness, just like Gaia itself. Treves, despite all his confidence, realizes something terrifying. He has no special knowledge, no hidden wisdom, no powers, yet he is forced to make a decision that will shape the destiny of trillions of people. After deep contemplation, Treves makes his choice. He chooses Galaxia. He believes that in the long run, a connected galaxy, a single unified intelligence will prevent war, destruction, and suffering. And so the seeds of a new future are planted. But the question remains, did Treves make the right choice? Foundation's Edge was a turning point for the series. For decades, the Foundation was a battle between 2 forces, technology versus psychology, science versus mentalics. But now there's a third option, something beyond Seldon's original plan. Isaac Asimov took a bold step, expanding his universe beyond what anyone expected. He introduced the concept of Galaxia, an idea that predates later sci-fi like Star Trek's Borg or The Expanse's protomolecule, a more philosophical take on the nature of consciousness and free will, a shift from the old Foundation versus Empire story into a bigger cosmic mystery. And the influence of this book? Huge. Foundation's Edge set the stage for Asimov's later works, including Foundation and Earth, which takes Treves' story even further. So, what does Foundation's Edge teach us? That history isn't just about logic or control. It's about evolution. The future isn't fixed. It's shaped by new ideas, unexpected forces, and sometimes by one person's decision. What do you think? Did Treves make the right choice? Should the galaxy remain a free collection of planets, or should it evolve into one superconscious entity? Let us know in the comments. And if you love deep sci-fi dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more sci-fi explorations. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never stop reaching for the stars. Foundation's Edge holds significant turning point importance in Asimov's body of work. It is not only a continuation of the Foundation series, but also a crucial step in Asimov's attempt to integrate his multiple science fiction universes. Following this work, Asimov went on to write Foundation and Earth, Prelude to Foundation, and Forward the Foundation, further expanding the worldview of the entire series. Moreover, Foundation's Edge has become a classic in science fiction literature due to its profound philosophical reflections and complex narrative structure, exerting a far-reaching influence on later science fiction writers and works.
What if the key to humanity's future lay hidden in its past? What if the greatest mystery of all wasn't the fate of the first Foundation, or the second Foundation, or even Galaxia, but something much older, something lost? In 1986, Isaac Asimov published Foundation and Earth, the final novel in his legendary Foundation series. This book isn't just a sequel, it's the culmination of everything Asimov built over decades. It's a galactic road trip, a search for the lost origins of humanity, and a book that finally connects Asimov's robot, empire, and Foundation stories into one grand vision. So, let's dive deep into Foundation and Earth, a book about identity, destiny, and the search for home. Before we jump into Foundation and Earth, let's set the stage. At the end of Foundation's Edge, Golan Trevius, a former politician and skeptic, was forced to make the most important decision in galactic history. He had three choices. Let the first Foundation rule the galaxy through science and technology. Let the second Foundation rule from the shadows, using mentalic abilities to shape history. Choose a new path. Galaxia, a unified, galaxy-wide collective consciousness. Trevize, trusting his instincts, chose Galaxia. But was it the right choice? Now in Foundation and Earth, Trevize is haunted by doubt. He still doesn't know why he chose Galaxia over the other options, and so he embarks on a journey to find the only thing that might hold the answer: Earth, the original home of humanity. Trevize is joined by Janov Pelaret, the historian obsessed with ancient myths, especially the lost origins of Earth. Bliss, a woman from Gaia, who embodies the planet's collective consciousness. She is Gaia's way of keeping an eye on Trevize, ensuring he doesn't stray too far from their cause. But there's a big problem. Earth is missing. It's been erased from all official records. No one in the galaxy knows where it is. Every reference to its location has been wiped from history. The only way to find it? Follow a trail of breadcrumbs, tracing back humanity's lost origins through ancient colonies that might still remember something about Earth. Their journey takes them to several key planets, each holding a piece of the puzzle, but also danger. The first clue leads them to Comporelon, an old and bureaucratic world that claims to be one of the first human colonies. Here they meet a politician named Mun Lee Compor, who tries to arrest them the moment they arrive. Turns out their ship is considered illegal technology, but Trevize, being Trevize, talks his way out of trouble, and in return he learns something valuable. Comporelon has ancient legends about ships that left long ago for a forbidden world, a planet that might be Earth, but they need more proof, so they continue their journey. Next, they travel to Aurora, once the home of the Spacers, a long-extinct advanced human civilization that ruled before the Galactic Empire. Aurora was one of the first planets colonized by humanity, but now it's just a graveyard, an abandoned world where nature is reclaiming the ruins. They discover records of the Spacers' downfall, a civilization too dependent on robots, too afraid to change. It collapsed, leaving only legends behind, but one clue stands out. There were once robots on this planet, advanced ones, and some of them might still be out there. After a long, dangerous journey, they finally reach Earth, or what's left of it. The planet is dead, its surface is completely uninhabitable, covered in radiation. Whatever civilization once existed here was wiped out ages ago. But then, they make a discovery that changes everything. Deep beneath the surface, in a hidden chamber, they find Daniil Olival, a robot who has been guiding humanity for 20,000 years. Yes, the same Daniil Olival from Asimov's robot novels. Daniil reveals the truth. He has been secretly guiding human civilization for 20,000 years, nudging them toward the future. Trevize, who thought he made the choice of galaxy freely, now realizes something chilling. He was manipulated all along. Did he make the right choice? Or has humanity just been set on an unstoppable path to losing its individuality forever? Foundation and Earth ties together the entire Asimov universe, blending his robot, Empire, and Foundation stories into one grand vision. What do you think? Did Trevize make the right decision? Let us know in the comments. And if you love deep sci-fi dives, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more. Until next time, stay curious and keep reaching for the stars.
Today we're diving into one of the most groundbreaking and underrated masterpieces in science fiction, The Stars, My Destination, written by Alfred Bester in 1956. This novel is often called the greatest cyberpunk book before cyberpunk even existed. It's fast-paced, violent, and deeply philosophical. A story of revenge, transformation, and human potential. But before we get into the story, let's talk about the man behind the book. Alfred Bester was born in 1913, and while he's not as widely recognized today as Asimov or Clarke, his work shaped the modern science fiction landscape in ways few writers have. In the 1940 and 50, Bester wrote for pulp sci-fi magazines, but he also worked in radio, television, and comics. He even wrote for Superman and Green Lantern. His sharp, cinematic writing style set him apart. Unlike many sci-fi writers of his era, Bester wasn't just interested in technology, he was interested in people. His stories were filled with intense emotions, psychological depth, and flawed, complex characters. Then, in 1956, he wrote The Stars, My Destination, and everything changed. The novel is set in the 25th century, in a world where humanity has colonized the solar system. But the biggest breakthrough isn't in spaceships or AI, it's in teleportation. In this future, humans have developed a skill called jaunting, the ability to teleport anywhere they can visualize. At first, only a few people can do it, but soon, the entire human race learns to jaunt. Suddenly, the world has no need for cars, planes, or even spaceships for short distances. Society is completely transformed. But even with all this power, humanity hasn't changed much. There's still war, greed, and oppression. The rich and powerful use their wealth to control the masses, and the solar system is divided between corporate warlords and powerful ruling families. And in this world, there's one man, a nobody, who is about to change everything. Meet Gully Foyle, our protagonist, or maybe our anti-hero. He's not a noble space captain, not a genius scientist, not a chosen one. He's just an ordinary man, a crude, violent, uneducated mechanic working on a spaceship called Nomad. When the story begins, Foyle has been stranded in deep space for 170 days. His ship is a wreck, and he's the only survivor. He's clinging to life, barely staying sane, when suddenly, a miracle. A passing ship, the Vorga, comes into view. He signals for help, and the Vorga just keeps going. They see him, and they leave him to die. This moment breaks him. He was just a man trying to survive, but now he has one singular purpose: revenge. With sheer rage and willpower, he repairs his ship, gets back to Earth, and starts his mission to hunt down the crew of the Vorga and make them pay. But here's where things get interesting. Foyle isn't just any man. There's something inside him, something waiting to be unlocked. Foyle's journey is one of complete transformation. At first, he's an animal, driven by pure instinct and vengeance. But as he fights his way through the system, through prisons, gang wars, high society, and brutal betrayals, he evolves. He goes from a dumb brute to a genius strategist. He learns to control his rage, his body, and even his mind. And eventually, he discovers something even greater. You see, most people can only jaunt short distances. But Foyle? He unlocks something far beyond. He gains the ability to jaunt through space itself, a power no human has ever possessed. And now he's not just looking for revenge, he's looking for justice. The final act of the book is pure chaos. Foyle destroys everything in his path, bringing down the most powerful people in the solar system. But in the process, he realizes something. Revenge isn't enough. He's more than just a man seeking payback. He's the key to the next step in human evolution. By the end of the book, Foyle doesn't just change himself, he changes humanity itself. He gives the power of interstellar jaunting to the entire species. Overnight, humans are no longer trapped in the solar system. They can teleport to the stars. The last line of the book says it all. Stars, take me home. So why does this book matter? Why do so many sci-fi writers call it one of the greatest novels ever written? Because The Stars, My Destination was ahead of its time. It's the first true cyberpunk novel. Before William Gibson, before Blade Runner, before Neuromancer, the gritty, corporate-controlled world, the powerful, mega-rich families, the rebellious anti-he, it's all here. It's a revenge story on a cosmic scale, blending the themes of The Count of Monte Cristo with science fiction. It's also blending the themes of The Count of Monte Cristo with science fiction. It influenced some of the greatest sci-fi works of all time, from The Expanse to Altered Carbon to Star Wars. It's about human potential, about how anger, pain, and suffering can fuel evolution. And yet, unlike Dune or Foundation, it's not as famous. But it should be. For years, people have tried to turn The Stars, My Destination into a movie or TV series, but it's never quite happened. Maybe it's too complex, maybe it's too dark, but one thing is certain. This is a book that demands to be read. So, if you love sci-fi, if you love cyberpunk, if you love raw, powerful storytelling, you owe it to yourself to read The Stars, My Destination. Because in the end, just like goalie foil, we're all searching for our place in the stars. Have you read The Stars, My Destination? What did you think of it? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more sci-fi deep dives.
What if humanity reached for the stars, only to find that we brought our ghosts with us? The Martian Chronicles, written by Ray Bradbury in 1950, isn't just a collection of sci-fi tales. It's a poetic and haunting reflection on human nature, colonization, and the fragile dream of a better world. Ray Bradbury was one of the greatest sci-fi writers of the 20th century. Unlike hard science fiction writers like Isaac Asimov or Arthur C. Clarke, Bradbury focused on the emotional and philosophical dimensions of his stories. He wasn't concerned with scientific accuracy, he was a poet of the future. And The Martian Chronicles is his melancholic love letter to both Mars and humanity's endless contradictions. The Martian Chronicles isn't a single novel, it's a series of interconnected short stories that tell the story of Mars colonization from the early 21st century onward. The book unfolds in 3 key phases: the failed attempts to land on Mars, the human colonization, and finally the downfall of both Martian and Earth civilizations. It all begins with Earth sending its first expeditions to Mars, but the Martians, telepathic beings with a rich, mysterious culture, are not easily conquered. They see these human invaders as threats or hallucinations, and the first few missions end in failure, often in eerie, unexpected ways. Then comes the wave of human settlers. At first it seems like a fresh start. Pioneers build towns, reminiscent of small American neighborhoods, while Martian culture slowly fades away. But as more humans arrive, they bring with them the very problems they hoped to escape: greed, violence, and destruction. Then, in a tragic twist, Earth itself is engulfed in a devastating nuclear war, wiping out much of the civilization that once sent explorers into the stars. The humans on Mars, who initially dreamed of a fresh start, suddenly find themselves cut off from their homeworld, burdened with an overwhelming sense of loss and despair. Without the connection to Earth, their aspirations for a utopian society fade, replaced by a quiet struggle for survival. As the years pass, the few who remain adapt, their identities transforming in ways they never expected. They become the new Martians, no longer mere settlers, but inheritors of a world once alien to them, echoes of both past and future civilizations. The Martian Chronicles isn't just a book about space. It's a meditation on humanity's failures and dreams. It influenced generations of sci-fi writers and filmmakers from Star Trek to Interstellar. Bradbury didn't just tell a story about Mars, he told a story about us. Today, as figures like Elon Musk push forward with plans for Martian colonization, Bradbury's vision remains more relevant than ever. Will humanity's expansion into space be an opportunity for renewal, or will we repeat the same mistakes that led to Earth's conflicts? As SpaceX and other organizations work to make Mars a second home, The Martian Chronicles serves as both a cautionary tale and an inspiration for those who dream of the Red Planet. So, what do you think? If Elon Musk invited you to join his Mars colonization mission, would you go? Do you believe humanity can truly terraform Mars into a second Earth? Or is it destined to be another place where we repeat history? Are we ready to build a new world, or will we bring our old problems with us? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into classic sci-fi.